forget house music and grunge. We're looking back at the 90s for a completely different reason. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Broadway musicals of the 1990s. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at our favorite musicals that made their Broadway debut in the 90s.
He's a pinball wizard, there has to be a twist. A pinball wizard's got such a supple wrist.
While many classic musicals such as Chicago and Cabaret had revivals in this time, we're specifically focusing on shows that paying audiences first saw on the Great White Way between 1990 and 1999. Number 10. Falsettos.
We're sitting and watching Jason play baseball. We're watching Jason play baseball. We're watching Jewish boys who cannot play baseball, play baseball. We're watching Jewish boys who cannot play baseball, play.
Written by William Finn and James Lapine, Falsettos follows an eccentric, dysfunctional Jewish family in the 70s.
I'd rather die than dry clean Marvin's wedding gown. I'm breaking down. I'm breaking down. It's so upsetting when I found that what's rectangular is round.
At the center of the story is Marvin, who must juggle his relationships with his son, psychiatrist, ex-wife, and new boyfriend.
This here is love when we're talking face to face.
Its depiction of both gay romance and AIDS was groundbreaking in a time when the HIV epidemic was at its most urgent. However, its humor, Tony-winning book, and energetic score are what have helped to make the emotional punch of this musical just as powerful today, decades later. I guess you could say it's a miracle of Judaism. Number 9. Victor Victoria.
Man assumes that the world is tailor-made for him, which it is.
No list of musicals is complete without Julie Andrews, but this is a far cry from Mary Poppins. Adapted from the movie of the same name, Victor Victoria follows Victoria Grant. Or is that Victor Grzinski? That's right, Andrews is a woman impersonating a man impersonating a woman. A screwball comedy premise if we ever heard one, courtesy of Pink Panther creator Blake Edwards.
So come on in and play me the jazz pop, baby, 'cause I love my jazz.
With musical maestros Leslie Bricusse, Henry Mancini, and Frank Wildhorn all contributing to the score and lyrics, it's no surprise that Victor Victoria was a big success when it debuted in 1995. But the fact it also gave Andrews her final on-stage role also makes it a show as important as it is entertaining. Number 8. Ragtime.
Giving the nation a new syncopation, the people call it ragtime.
As many of the entries on this list prove, some themes explored in 1990s musicals remain ever relevant today. Ragtime combines several genres to depict different cultural experiences in the USA in the 20th century, all the while discussing issues of class, gender, and ethnicity. The musical received a staggering 13 Tony nominations at the 1998 ceremony, but lost out on Best Musical to a certain other show we might get to on this list. Hint, it was originally a Disney movie. With incredible performances from the likes of Brian Stokes Mitchell, Audra McDonald, and Marin Mazzie, as well as a huge orchestra playing a sweeping score to bolster insane production design, Ragtime is well worth being seen and heard.
Our sun will ride on the wheels of a dream.
Number 7. Sunset Boulevard. Are you ready for your close-up? Next on our list is another movie-to-stage adaptation, this time giving the song and dance treatment to Billy Wilder's classic Hollywood noir thriller. The story follows a struggling screenwriter as he develops a strange relationship with fated film actress Norma Desmond.
Now they put some talentless unknown beneath their sacred microphone. We didn't need words, we had faces.
With music by Andrew Lloyd Webber, it's no surprise this show won Best New Musical at the 1995 Tonys.
Everything's as if we never said goodbye.
But it's Glenn Close's iconic portrayal of Desmond, honoring Gloria Swanson while also bringing her own interpretation to the character, that cemented Sunset Boulevard as a classic of the stage as well as the screen.
And now, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Number 6. Beauty and the Beast. It's a tale as old as time, or in this case as old as the 1991 Disney film and the fairy tale that inspired it. This show was always going to make a ton of money on Broadway, but the fact that the stage version retained the movie's heart is amazing.
As you see, I've got biceps to spare.
Not a bit of him scraggly or scrawny.
That's right, and every last inch of me's covered with hair.
Most of you have probably seen some form of Beauty and the Beast and don't need to be reminded of why Gaston and Be Our Guest are considered some of the best Disney musical numbers. And although it lost to Passion at the Tonys that year, the fact it's made $1.4 billion, with a B, and has been performed in 115 cities worldwide says a lot. Number 5. Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Don't you know me? I'm the new Berlin Wall. Try and tear me down. I was born on the other side.
How's this for a change of pace? While not the first musical to bring rock music to theater, Hedwig's blurring of the lines between both genres and genders has won it a place in the hearts of musical fans around the world.
And they never knew nothing of love. It was before war, the origin of love.
Writer John Cameron Mitchell originally played Hedwig, while Stephen Trask's blistering rock score made audiences feel more like they were at an Iggy Pop concert than the Jane Street Theater. Its genderqueer rock star hero is what makes the show important, but just having the song Sugar Daddy in its set list would have gotten it on this list regardless. Number 4. Miss Saigon.
The heat is on in Saigon. The girls are hotter than hell. One of these lips here will be Miss Saigon.
From Boublil and Schoenberg, the creators of Les Miserables, comes another sweeping romantic tragedy set against the backdrop of history. Based on Puccini's Madame Butterfly, Miss Saigon follows an American soldier during the Vietnam War as he falls for a local bar girl and fathers a son.
It's tearing me to hold you tight and dance like it's the last night of the world.
Like The Secret Garden, Miss Saigon debuted in 1989 and didn't transfer to Broadway until 1991, where it was nominated for multiple Tony Awards. What's made this show one of the longest-running Broadway musicals is not only the sweeping score, but also the epic scope of the story.
The earth moves where I stand. I feel the turning of the wheel. You will not take my child.
You don't know how to kill.
Number 3. Crazy for You.
Because you see I'm dancing and I dance.
The Gershwin brothers and the 1990s aren't necessarily two things you'd put together, but this isn't a revival. It's a remake of their 1931 musical Girl Crazy, adapting the story for modern audiences and incorporating Gershwin tunes from other shows and movies. This idea worked for An American in Paris, so why not here? The fact that the show is also wildly enjoyable, with a good old-fashioned showbiz-centric romance at its heart, as two lovers try to save a failing theater, is also pretty great. For those of you nostalgic for musicals with a classical flavor, Crazy for You is just what you're looking for.
I got daisies in green pastures. I got my man who could ask for anything more.
Number 2, The Lion King. Need we say more? The Shakespearean saga of Simba and the Pride Lands is a beloved classic, and the stage show is still running to this day at the Minskoff Theater. Helmed by visionary director Julie Taymor, the show has been critically praised for its use of puppetry and costumes to adapt the original film's animated style into a wholly different medium. What hasn't been changed in the transition are the classic Elton John and Tim Rice songs, which still bring a smile to our faces all these years later. Well, the 90s were a good time to catch a show on Broadway. Now, I'm a bit partial to Beauty and the Beast given that I played a wolf and a napkin in a production, but these honorable mentions, and especially number 1, are pretty good too.
There she is, towering high, broad and grand, ship of dreams, sailing day. This day or never, I sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment. You can tremble, you can fear it, but keep your fighting spirit alive. Boys, let the shiver of it sting you, fling into battle, spring to your feet. Boys, never hold back your step for a moment.
Number 1, Rent.
We're not gonna pay last year's rent, this year's rent, next year's rent, 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 rent.
Winner of 4 Tonys and a Pulitzer Prize, Jonathan Larson's love letter to Alphabet City is the epitome of 90s musical theater. A modernization of Puccini's La Boheme, it follows an ensemble of bohemians as they struggle with financial poverty under the shadow of the AIDS epidemic.
To being an us for once instead of a them.
Songs such as Seasons of Love and La Vie Boheme have become modern-day musical standards. But the show's enduring impact is because of its strong message of tolerance, acceptance, and dare we say it, love.
525,600 minutes.
There's no better way to sum it all up than no day but today. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.